Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. My name is Putri Intan Rahayu and I'm a student at SMK MIGAS CEPU. Today I'd like to talk to you about simple and hopefully this will act as a springboard for discussion. And my talk will be divided into 4 sections. The first is understanding geothermal, and second we learn about the basic of geothermal formation, and third steam field process, and finally I will explain steam field facility. I shall be glad to answer any question at the end of my presentation. So please hold your question if you have any. Okay, the first is understanding geothermal energy. What is geothermal? Geothermal comes from the Greek language, namely geo is the earth and thermal is heat. Then geothermal energy is heat energy stored in rock below the earth's surface and the fluids contained there. And second is basic of geothermal formation. The source of geothermal energy comes from the heat that is in the earth. The formation of geothermal energy has the same principle as boiling water in a teapot using the stove as a source of heat energy. After heat, the water will become hot steam. Okay, and third, steam field process. Steam is taken from production well with a depth of 2,000 to 3,000 meters from the ground into base condition. The resulting steam then flows into the separator. In the wet stream, separator is separated into steam and brine. When the two-phase fluid mixture enters the separator through the inlet pipe, the brine will fall under the separator because its specific gravity is greater than the steam will exit through the steam outlet. After the steam outlet, there is an orifice meter that will measure the level and brine pressure inside the separator is also constant because it is regulated using a dump valve. The brine that comes out of the separator is called hot brine because of the high temperature. Before the brine leaves the separator, is first injected to make the brine pH stable at 4.8 to 5.2. This is done because the brine pH from the well is too alkaline, which triggers scaling in the brine line. When the brine comes out of the separator, first the brine will pass through the AFT and then flow into the canal. The function of the canal is a place to reduce the pressure and temperature of the brine, so that when the brine is in the area, the temperature has decreased. This temperature drop is accompanied by the formation of white deposit in the bottle. The brine in the pond will be pumped into the injection well using a brine pump. Okay, finally, steam field facility. Number 1 is casing head. Wheel head is a series of tubing head and casing head or bottom flank. This part is connected to a flank that has high resistance to temperature and pressure. Number two, wing valve. Wing valve function to spray fluid flow into the air with a very small flow rate, breathing when the well is not operating. If the well is not bladed, the steam from inside the earth cannot come out, so that the steam will condense. The condensation of steam causes the steam to decrease in temperature, so that the fluid in the bowels of the earth will not reach a perfect boiling point. Number three is angle valve. The angle valve serves as a way for the injection fluid to enter when locking the well. At the time of locking, the production well needs to be killed first, so that no fluid will flow to the surface. Angle valve also function as an indicator of well head pressure. Number 4, annulus valve. The annulus valve serves as an indicator of a leak in the cement layer, and at the same time to see whether the cementing process is good or not, crack occur or not. Okay, number 5, master valve. Master valve or main seal. This valve function to open and close completely and isolate the fluid from the well. As it is the main valve, it avoids the abrasive effect that causes leaks. Number 6, crown valve or top valve. Top valve or service valve used for well maintenance purpose of measurement of pressure, temperature, and well locking. Number 7 is flow-T. Flow-T serves to direct the fluid flow to the separator through a two-phase flow pipe. Number 8, throttle valve. The throttle valve function to regulate the flow rate and simulation to regulate the pressure at the wellhead. Number 10 is inlet valve. The inlet valve has a function to open and close the fluid that will flow to the separator. Okay, number 11 bypass valve. This bypass valve function to flow fluid to the AFT when the separator's inlet is closed and the separators are not operating. Number 12, rupture disc. The safety equipment in question is the production facility safety equipment. There are several security systems that are commonly used, such rupture disc to pasa line and rupture disc separator. Okay, number 13. Number 13 is teats or canal. The canal function as a pipe from the brain that come out of the AFT output so that the brain experiences a decrease in the temperature so that the silica in the brain settles in the channel line, not in the pipeline. Okay, number 14 is pond or balloon. Pond function to accommodate brain from production as a place for silica deposition and to reduce the temperature of brine water before being injected into the injection well. Okay, next, number 15, atmospheric flash tank or AFT. The atmosphere of the flashing tank or cylinder is a layered cylinder in which it is given a coating to settle the sound, and the top is open AFT, also function to flash brine so that low pressure brine is obtained and to control the flow of fluid to be discarded. Number 16 is separator. The separator function to make the two pass fluid from the well production into a vapor pass and a liquid pass. Number 17, dump valve. If the dump valve has a problem, it will fail open. This can be indicated by flowing steam to the brine outlet or following brine to the steam outlet. If this happens, it is certain that the production process will be disrupted. Okay, number 18, compressor. The compressor function to generate air as a driving force for dump valve and pneumatic valve. Open the lid of the pneumatic valve driven by air pressure supplied from the compressor. Number 19, manometer. A manometer is needed to determine the upstream fluid pressure. The manometer is placed at the wellhead, separator, and in the flow line and pipeline. Number 20 is wearbox. Wearbox function to determine the fluid flow rate and fluid quality thoroughly. There are two types of wearbox, namely V-node wearbox and rectangular wearbox. Number 21 is thermometer. Thermometer is used to measure the temperature of steam and brine. The temperature is installed in the separator and flow line and pipeline. Okay, I would like to thank you all for taking time to listen to my presentation. Actually, the steam field facility is very wide, but in this presentation, I focus more on the production facility. If there are errors in the material, give your suggestion and critiques. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.